strange weather. It's a slightly overcast day to begin with, and then we've got a lot of forest fires in other parts of the country. All the smoke is kind of making its way here. I guess I'll take that rather than the actual fire itself any day. Oh, you know, besides that, hey look, it's Tracy's 400. We've still got it. Hasn't been seeing much use this year, but it's still around. I think this is probably the third time it's been out. Not sure if I actually have the mileage saved. Not a lot of miles on it this year anyway. It's basically been sitting for almost a month, so now that having bikes sit for, you know, at least a couple weeks at a time is becoming normal, I'll oftentimes fill them up while I'm riding them, and then after they sit for a few weeks, I'll siphon most of the gas out of them. And once I get back out on them, I'll just head over to the gas station and fill them up again. Keep fresh fuel in them that way. And I barely ever have to go out and buy gas specifically for the lawnmower because, you know, just siphon it out of the bikes. Not putting a lot of miles on overall this summer, but so far this week, not bad. We're right in the middle of taking a week of vacation here. Vacation with no real plans. So with the little ham still heading to daycare every day, it's a little easier to jump on a bike and go for a rip once in a while. And of course, this past Sunday, which was most likely the previous video, we actually got out for a little over 400 kilometers down into Nova Scotia. That was really nice. Haven't done that in a while. Well, haven't got out for over 400 kilometers in a while. We were in Nova Scotia just the week before that. Kind of forget you gotta drop a gear to make a quick pass with this one. I suppose even 2 gears if you really want to make it quick. Yeah, just glancing at this odometer, I don't even think there's 100 kilometers on this thing yet this year. That means one thing is for sure though, it's getting gratuitous amounts of oil changes for no reason. Whether it gets the mileage on it or not, for an oil change it tends to get one anyway after a set amount of time, so it doesn't spend very much time with dirty oil in it. I guess last year I said if there was any other trouble with the clutch I would make an update video and say, you know, hey, heads up, it isn't fixed, but nothing like that to report either. Again, there isn't a ton of mileage on it to really test it out, but hey, if it was a problem before I worked on it and it immediately was not a problem anymore. Hey, goats and pigs! There's a huge pig on a leash there. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up, but man, it is hazy. It's really humid to begin with, and then you add in that smoke. With stock fueling in this Hindle pipe, it is a crackly bike now. All this humidity certainly warmed it up today. You basically see the ocean from here, and still it's hot. I'd say this pickup is just slightly overfueling. Yeah, just a little. A little too much diesel, not quite enough boost. Speaking of not enough air, there's also not enough air in those trailer tires. That's great. I'm sure they won't explode or anything. It's tough to keep it between the lines on a totally straight, flat road. I suppose when the majority of your tires are flat, it probably pulls all different ways. Won't be sticking around to witness the blowout. So yeah, today I decided to just get out for a real short little rip because I left late for one thing, and my parents are making the trip down for a visit. They're probably due to show up somewhere around the time that I show up back home, so decided not to venture too far. Just enough to get this thing working a little bit. Run some fuel through it. So what other news have we got bike related going on? I guess the biggest thing is I've pretty much settled on buying a big bore kit for the KLX. It looks like this is going to happen. I think the most difficult thing about it right now is just communicating with the people that sell it. At some points I'll send an email and have a response within an hour, and other times it's weeks. It's like I told Tracy, I mean, I'm trying to give you money, man. Come on. Just reply to me, that's all. So anyway, yeah, the kit should take it to a 351. From what I understand by email communication that I've managed to get, it should only require some minor tweaks to the stock carb, which isn't really an issue. I just figure I'm getting tired of waiting for someone to build the dual sport bike that I want, so I might as well tweak this one to make it closer to what I want, right? After everything is all said and done, I'm probably looking at about $1,000 for the kit. That's just to purchase it, of course. I'll be installing it myself. At first I thought, you know, that is a lot of money, especially to sink into that little bike, but I guess realistically, it's not that much money compared to buying another one. So I mean, realistically, I'd have to sell that bike if I wanted to upgrade it to the kind of power that a 350 or a 400 would give, unless I just go to a big bore, right? Because then you're turning it into that displacement. Plus, I just like a project, right? Which is kind of ridiculous because that Nighthawk is still very much a project. It still needs all kinds of different work, you know, especially if you want to make it look alright. But I guess I'm to the point with it now where I can hop on it and ride it, so I'm getting lazy with it. I guess the final factor that really forced my hand when it comes to this big bore kit, I mean, I got nothing to hide, I might as well lay it all out. I noticed that it was starting a little harder than usual. Just minor differences. Like I said, anyone else could jump on that bike and ride it and never notice a difference, but I've owned it for 7 or 8 years at this point, so I know how it's supposed to work. And it was just a minor difference. Something was off. So I started looking into things with it, just poking away at different things. Minor stuff, like it was overdue for a new spark plug, so I even splurged and got it a fancy iridium plug. Then I decided I was going to clean the carburetor again, just to be safe. Well, the fuel side of the carburetor was not dirty, it was fine. But when I took it apart, this bike has a short rubber hose leading from the airbox to the carburetor. When I say short, it's almost too short. You really need to be careful when you're installing it to make sure that you get a good bite on the carb and the airbox, because it can slip off one of them very easy. And at some point, since the last time I messed with the carburetor, which was quite a while ago, it slipped off. Whoa, I'm gonna get hit. Oh man, I hit one. I think I seen him fly away. Okay, he's alright. Nicked my toe on my left foot. So yeah, where was I? That boot between the carburetor and the airbox, it slipped off partially, just a little crack. So the carburetor, for who knows how many miles, was sucking in unfiltered air. It was enough that it dirtied up the air jets in it, but again, they weren't too bad. After I cleaned it, I didn't notice a real difference. What really got me thinking though was, how long was it eating dirt, and what did it do to the cylinder? I guess first and foremost, it doesn't really burn oil. I've never noticed the oil level go down ever under normal use. So that was a good sign, but still, I had to know. So I ran a compression test on it, and it's still well within Kawasaki's quote-unquote usable spec, but it's on the lower end now. You know, once you get the bike fired up and up to temperature, it runs great. Runs every bit as good as it ever did, as far as I'm concerned, but as like, screw it. That was like the last reason I needed to go ahead on this big bore kit. So if I can ever get a reply back from these guys, I'm gonna get that ordered up. So yeah, if you want to check out Project KLX 250-ish, then stay tuned, because I think we'll be getting into that before too long.